Alright, back with another part. So last time we met our sister, we're here moving on. This is summer vacation. So let's do it. Last time, as I mentioned, we'll be doing probably like 2 of these per the episode, so we're starting with shopping. Come back before it gets dark, alright? Sport. The familiar voice drift across the street and drew your attention from the snail you've been watching inching slowly across the pavement. Interesting. Cove waited in front of his dad, pushed his green hair back of his face from where the breeze was blowing it all over his glasses. He looked to be paying only mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you when you first met Mr. Hilton, although he was probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, or maybe you made a noise, because a second later his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You gotta learn how to be more sneaky. +2, -1 sneaky. You brush your hand together to free them of sand, then jog over to join the two smiling at Cove first, and then Zan. Yuki, hi. Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today, Yuki? Taking a walk. I found a pretty cool snail across the road. There are a lot of snails around here. Mr. Hilton grinned at you kindly. After you finished answering the question, Mr. Hilton's attention returned to Cove, who was preoccupied with folding the bill he had into a tiny triangle. Interesting. Sounds fun, you know, Cove was about to hit the store by the beach. Why didn't you go with him? Dude. You gave a ready nod, turning to squint in the direction of the stores like you could see because they had to offer all the way from where you stood. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't mind. Great. I'm sure you guys will have loads of fun. Mr. Hilton reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. You find it odd since your mom only ever seems to have their cards in theirs. Okay, so that's an interesting fact that the parents are payless. They pay without cash or cashless, I'm sorry. He leaned to a pretend gift to Cole, gave him a wink. Get something for your friend too. Sure.
Good kid.
That's my boy. Cole's dad rustled his son's hair as he was straightening it back up. The bill in his hand still held out towards the green hair boy. Take care. Cove accepted the bill after a second and slipped into his pocket. Then with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. You followed after him, intrigued at the possibility this outing might bring. Cove stayed straight towards the gentle tide, creeping the sand, and you fell into the place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining and there weren't many clouds in the sky, though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. I really like where they live. I want to live there. You took in a deep breath and enjoyed the scent of salt and ocean air. When you looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand, and a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. He searched the ground intently. Probably asked, what is it? Nothing. Kept staring down at the ground though. You bit down on your lip a little and wanted to say something else, but not knowing what. The comforting sands of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise, and you played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close as was possible without getting wet. That's always a fun game. Then the other one's when you throw your girlfriend into the ocean. That's always fun. It results in you having to run up the sand quickly when a wave rushed in more than a few times. Although Cole threw a few glances your way, he didn't say a word. I guess we'll see what he does. What do you do? Lots of things. I like bodyboarding and volleyball and surfing and everything and stuff. That sounds like a kid. The idea of standing on a big board while the waves propel you towards the ocean was mystifying. I'm not allowed to surf. It looks hard. Now once you get the hang of it, I could show you sometime. I'm a surfer dude. I'm not supposed to surf right now because I have this. Damn you, cast. He lifted up one arm, showing off the glittering pink cast wrapped around his wrist. Yeah. That's sad for him. Cove still smiled though. You thought his nonchalant attitude towards the injury was pretty brave. I also like collecting stuff that's on the shore. Shells, sands, dollar. I found a shark tooth once. You did? Cove stretched out his forefinger and thumb. It was this long. That was somehow both scary and delightful. No way. I mean, I still have it under my bed. You have to remember to ask him to show it to you sometime.
So...
What about you? What do you do out here? I like swimming. I was looking. See, what was I doing as a kid? I was swimming a lot. That's probably very true. So I building castles of swimming. So we'll go with swimming. Then curled up in a small smile. Me too. It occurred to you that you hadn't been swimming in a while. There was just so much to do before school started up again and so little time. I know that feeling. It's like when I'm on vacation, I have work to do. Like real work. Once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exponentially. No longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of people enjoying the lovely summer day. The call of the birds trying to find bits of food left behind. And lots of sell people trying to get their attention. Hey, buy something for me. You sniff the air as you walk beside Cove. You can still smell the ocean, but there are other scents now too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. It's nice. The energy surrounding the area seems to fill you. There's a bounce in your step and you begin to look at all the familiar sights. There's so many things to do, you didn't know where to begin. Look at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. He's not. He was glancing from one side of the street to the other, with a look in his Aquamanian eyes that couldn't quite work out. Why is that? Gus pointed out a loud crowd who gathered near a few tables with a large, colorful umbrella blooming from their middles. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew there must have been something worth seeing. Did the two cups, one girl? With another word, the two of you hurried over to see what all the commotion was about. Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander. In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had 3 long tails. There's a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read, "The Amazing Alexander," in glittering gold script. Why tell people his name if it's already on the sign? Cove home with the understanding, then turned to walk away just as the Amazing Alexander began shuffling a deck of cards. Maybe we could stay and watch? Cove glanced back at the man. He then briefly lifted his arm up off his side before returning them to place. You grinned, waving for him to follow you as you raced back to the stand in the crowd. With that, the magic man pulled one card out the deck, showing it to the curious onlookers. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely. You did, squeezing through a few of the adults onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa! The amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ears? Tell me. This had to be going somewhere, and you needed to find out. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer. It was great. You felt a tug, and then he pulled the 4 diamonds from behind your ears. What? You knew that it couldn't really have come from your ears, but you still didn't know how he'd done it. There was a light applause from the audience, from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clamp of them, tied them down to his table, but were in the shape of a dolphin instead of being a normal balloon. And one for your friend. Thank you for being my assistant. Wow. Now you're really grateful he chose you. After that, he went somewhere else in the crowd. Pick a card. Any card. My uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with cards. In fact, that is my uncle. Cove spoke plainly while reaching over to take the dolphin he had been designated for him. At least you had fun. You saw a magic trick and you got a great balloon. That was more than enough to make it a worthwhile event. I mean, yeah, I always look on the bright side of things. You thought that if you could find a card to practice with, maybe you could make it disappear too. The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed to the side there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes on display. Oh, these are cool. You shifted your balloon string to your other hand so you could bring the mysterious tunnel to your eyes. A whole palette of colors appeared right in front of you, spinning into all kinds of different shapes as you twisted the ends of the tube. Pick one up and look through the twisting tube at the end. After a second, he set it back on the rack, moving to the other side of the stall. He went under the awning, careful of his own floating dolphin, and you joined him. I probably would have asked him this question. Cove blinked at you for a moment, and you wonder if you really should have asked. You know how much he missed that place. Yeah, but I want to know more about him. Not really. You nodded to understand, looking at the stalls nearby. Hey, a crab. Where's the crabs? While Cove looked at the sand pail, you were drawn to a table with colorful keychains laid out, and they were sewn in the shape of sea creatures, and there was a plaque that read handmade, and proudly in front of it. I mean, if they're handmade, that's very impressive. There were lots of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, and a turtle. I would have picked at that point a shark. Your hand stopped on the shark, a devious smurf filled with sharp tooth in its tooth on his face. You weren't supposed to go near sharks in real life, but there was something about this shark you liked, and the fabric on its back was soft when you picked it up. You were instantly admired. Checking the price though, you felt your heart fell. $6? You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. I mean, kinda is. You really have more than $5 bills to your name. So that changed the day you met Cove and his dad. You still had that $20 bill Mr. Hilton gave to you hidden away in your room. It was a grand sum of money, but you couldn't afford to spend something that was at home instead of in your pocket. Maybe you would have to ask your mom to bring you here again one day, now that you know what you wanted. I mean, that's good to know what you want. Is that what you want? Huh? Oh. It's $6. I didn't bring any money.
All right.
It's fine. You don't have to. I don't want you to get it from me. I would have been, are you sure? Cove took the keychain from your hand, and that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself too. Are we gonna build sandcastles? I was gonna get you something. Oh, I already got the money for it. You smile, please have things worked out. It was nice of Cove's dad to let Cove buy something for you too. You had to remember to thank him the next time you saw him. After Cove paid, the two of you stepped out of the store side by side, your balloon dolphin knocking together and spiraling around in the air. You watch Cove hold up his new pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. The pail! Hey, Cove. Yeah? I really like this. I really like this train. It's nice. Cove looked further down the street where different food carts were lined up. He rested his non-cast over his stomach. Just as you did, yours let out a light growl. You hadn't eaten some breakfast, and after all this wander around, you're definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. Yeah. You two wander around a short while looking at all the delicious that were available. Everything looked delicious, and as the different smells, both sweet and salty, woofed over to you, your stomach growled even louder. After pressing up a hot dog, snow cone, ice cream, and pizza, you both agreed on pretzels. Cole got something sweet and simmy, and you? Got one with cheese. You licked your lips hungrily at the vendor, handing over your plates ready to take a bite. It's covered in gooey melted cheese, just the way you like it. It seemed odd to get a dessert pretzel before eating a normal food. You found an empty table close enough to the beach that the grip of the sand made a terrible noise when you dragged the chairs out to sit down. These balloons are gonna make it hard to eat. Phil placed his bucket on the table as he stared at his still balled up hand that was wrapped around the string. You open your mouth to agree, but before an idea hit you. I know. After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere where it wouldn't get sandy, you tugged the balloon dolphin out of Cole's hand, tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist. Oh. Cole bounced his arm up and down in place, tasting the stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jest around but remain attached, he smiled satisfied. Can you do that for me? Pre the ritual, Cole struggled somewhat with the cast and restricting his finger on one hand and a string already tied around the other.
Okay.
Got it. The two of you spend a moment admiring your handiwork, both arms now free to allow easy munching on your pretzels. You bit into the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue. With a smile as you looked over the ocean. After a time you finished your pretzel, you were done before the cove. It was boring, not having anything to do. You pulled on the string of your balloon to bring it down your level. Then you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to make it look like it was jumping through air. If you turned to face the beach, it almost looked like it was swimming in the waves like a dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back at Cove, he had left the remaining part of his pretzel on the wrapper and was gripping his dolphin too. I will do it for Merryweather, the artist. He wears a crown made of seaweeds and all of his friends are married folks. Every now and then he'll make friends with a kid and let them ride on his back. You started wishing you could meet a real dolphin like Merryweather. What's yours? Cove considered his question, placing the balloon against his table and resting his free arm across its incognito. It's with a loud pop. Aww. No. Oh no. There was gripping shock like you, then his cheeks puff up. He said, "Oh, I'll get you another one." I will. It's this would be my personality, because that's just how I am. You can have mine. It was bad and let him cry more, sitting up, glancing up, and then back at you. No, it's yours. I don't want to take from you. No, you're not taking from me. We're sharing. It's okay, really. Even though it wasn't your fault, you felt bad. Still, the offer seemed to lift spirits, and that was good. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't need it. The passing of Kalupa was a major event, last major event of your adventure. In the end, the two of you head back late that afternoon. You separate on the beach while Cove went straight home with his brand new sand pail in his hand. You decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and the sunset fiddling with your new keychain. Another 7 day was drawing to a close. It had been a good one, except for the sci-fi note. Save it. Alright, that episode took about 20 minutes. I would say they're probably each 20 minutes. So this, actually would probably just separate them then, instead of making it so big. So each one will be, so I'm going to stop this part here. I'm going to leave it at this part. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next one, where we do with grown-ups. Or in this case, just grown up. You know, up.